Exposing the atrocities in Gaza is not just a matter of reporting facts, it's about confronting a crisis that has shaken the conscience of the world. Global watchdogs, legal experts, and humanitarian organizations have meticulously documented what they say are grave violations of international law by Israel, painting a harrowing picture of suffering and devastation. Around the globe, people are taking to the streets, holding signs, staging silent demonstrations, and demanding justice for Gaza. The message is clear. Silence is no longer an option. The world is watching, and the world is speaking out. Since the Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023, Gaza has become the epicenter of international attention. Journalists risk their lives to report from bombed neighborhoods, capturing the daily reality of a population under siege. Their stories have brought the horrors of war into living rooms worldwide, making it impossible to ignore the scale of destruction. Major human rights organizations, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, have released damning reports. International courts are now involved, with Israel facing accusations of war crimes and even genocide against Palestinians. These are not just allegations, they are supported by extensive evidence, witness testimonies, and on-the-ground investigations. The human cost is staggering. By July 2025, estimates suggest that between 50,000 and 100,000 people, many of them women and children, have lost their lives. Hospitals are overwhelmed, families are torn apart, and mass graves have become a tragic symbol of the conflict's toll. Multiple independent reports have documented the use of starvation as a weapon of war. Children queue for hours for food aid, only to find empty shelves. Malnutrition is rampant, and humanitarian agencies warn of a looming famine that could claim even more lives if urgent action is not taken. Israeli authorities have replaced global aid agencies with their own tightly controlled system, restricting the flow of essential supplies. This move has been widely condemned as inhumane by the international community, with aid trucks stopped at checkpoints and UN food packages left abandoned. There are credible allegations that unarmed civilians desperate for aid have been targeted while waiting in line. Medical tents have been destroyed, and ambulances have come under attack, making it nearly impossible for the wounded to receive care. Evidence shows deliberate attacks on health workers, with hospitals bombed and medical staff left to grieve the loss of newborns who died when incubators lost power. The denial of medical care has become a weapon in itself, compounding the suffering of the most vulnerable. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened with disproportionate force used against civilian areas. Some soldiers have even posted videos boasting about civilian deaths, fueling outrage and calls for accountability. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli leaders, and the International Court of Justice is actively investigating formal genocide charges. These legal actions mark a historic moment in the pursuit of justice for Gaza. Yet, despite overwhelming evidence and mounting pressure, the international response remains muted. The United Nations Security Council has failed to take decisive action, and many world leaders continue to look the other way, avoiding tough questions and sidestepping responsibility. Powerful countries are now being urged to uphold humanitarian law and take meaningful action. Human rights activists warn that silence and inaction may make these nations complicit in the ongoing atrocities. Inaction has consequences. The call for accountability is clear, and it echoes from the streets of Gaza to capitals around the world. Global citizens, your voices matter. Demand justice, demand action, and stand up for humanity.